Thank you, Mr. Williams, and pleasant good afternoon to everyone. And I want to use this opportunity to wish everyone who is joining us this afternoon a happy new year and a near normal 2021. So it's my task to share with you this afternoon the HEOC situation report for January the 6th. So last Saturday, the Ministry of Health would have disseminated a media release announcing the additional imported case of COVID-19. The traveler would have arrived in the Federation on December 27, and this brings our total number of COVID-19 confirmed cases to 33, 22 in St. Kitts and 11 in Nevis. At present, we only have 2 active cases, and so 31 cases would have fully recovered. The 2 active cases, they are in isolation and they are stable. We are monitoring them closely. Based on the World Health Organization's dashboard, COVID-19 dashboard, the total number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 globally stands at 84,780,171. The death toll globally stands at 1,853,525. Almost 25%, more specifically, I think 24.8% of the confirmed cases were reported by the United States of America, and almost 19% of the global deaths were reported by the United States of America. Within the Caribbean region, the total number of confirmed cases of COVID stands at 372,177, and the death toll stands at 5,914 as of January the 4th. What's happening in our neighboring islands? Now, Barbados is presently experiencing a surge in the number of COVID-19 cases. Barbados would have reported over 321 cases of COVID-19 within the last 14 days. Their total stands at 643. Grenada is also experiencing a surge in their cases. They would have reported 56 cases within the last fortnight, bringing their total to over 163. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 26 cases within the last 14 days. The total number of cases, 133. St. Lucia also reported as many as 57 cases within the last 14 days, bringing the total there to approximately 360. A number of these islands, they are experiencing an increase in the number of cases associated with incoming passengers from hotspots, meaning travelers, tourists, and returning nationals. In St. Kitts and Nevis, we would have tested over 6,000 persons so far, and with a positivity rate of approximately 0.5%. At present, we have about 16 homes involved in home quarantine, secured by commissioner-prescribed security. We have, as I said before, 2 persons, 2 active cases in isolation, and the number of persons in quarantine facilities stands at about 249. Earlier this afternoon, 2 charters would have landed in St. Kitts, one from Miami and one from Puerto Rico. bringing the 6th batch of students for the Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine. The charter that arrived from Miami would have brought about 87 students, and we had 5 students coming back from Puerto Rico. So a total of 92 students would have been transferred from the RLB International Airport to the dorm on the RUSVM campus. The students would have had their samples, well, let me back up. Now, the students would have had their pre-arrival RT-PCR test done in Miami on Monday, and only those with negative results would have boarded the charter. And then upon reaching or arriving at the RUSVM campus this afternoon, their nasopharyngeal swabs would have been taken upon arrival. So their samples will be processed, and then they would be placed in quarantine in the dorm at RUSVM for 14 days, after which they would receive their exit RT-PCR test. Once negative, then the students will be free to attend classes and integrate into our society. Okay, so just a summary as to what's happening globally in terms of the COVID-19 status. If you follow what's happening in the news, you would have heard about a new variant strain of the SARS-CoV-2 virus found in South Africa and Nigeria, and a new variant strain spreading across most of England. The science seems to suggest that these 3 strains of the SARS-CoV-2 virus are different. And so the scientists seems to have done quite a bit of work on the new variant that's circulating in the United Kingdom. And what they are saying is that this new variant in the UK is highly more transmissible than the virus's previous version. And because of that, the UK is seeing and experiencing a surge in the number of cases. Just yesterday, January the 5th, the number of new daily confirmed cases in the United Kingdom topped 60,000 for the first time. And the BBC tells us that the number of patients in hospitals in the UK is 40 times higher than what they experienced during the first peak last year, 2020. And as a result of that, England is in its 3rd national lockdown, coming into force, I think, yesterday, and this may extend until approximately mid-February of this year. Now, a little bit more about this new variant in the United Kingdom. As I said before, it's a little bit more transmissible. The science is, wavering between 56% to 70%. And so what this means is that this version of the virus spreads more easily between persons. How it spreads faster, it will infect more people, and because of that, the death toll will increase. However, the science seems to suggest that persons do not necessarily become more ill. However, one person who is infected has the potential of spreading it to an increased number of persons. Now, as a result of this, returning nationals to the Federation from the United Kingdom, we are asking them to be quarantined, confined to their rooms for the 2-week quarantine period, and then they will be they would have the requisite RT-PCR test done. Once negative, then they are free. They will be free to integrate into our society. So at present, if you are a returning national to the Federation from the United Kingdom, you won't be allowed to vacation in place. You would be quarantined, confined to your rooms for the 2-week period. Scientists have also discovered the new variant of the SARS-CoV-2 virus in Colorado and California in the United States. However, based on a report coming out of the New York Times today, this new variant seems, at present, seems to be somewhat rare. For now, in the United States of America, more testing is required in order to determine the extent and ultimately its prevalence in the U.S. All right, in terms of vaccines, the United Kingdom became the first country to approve the AstraZeneca's and Oxford University's COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use on December 30. And this vaccine, this third vaccine, was rolled out in the United Kingdom as of Monday, January the 4th. Now, unlike its competitors, this AstraZeneca Oxford COVID-19 vaccine can be stored at higher temperatures, meaning between 2 and 8 degrees centigrade. Temperatures what we are accustomed to in terms of vaccine, of regular vaccine programs. And so the vaccine can be stored at these temperatures for as long as 6 months. And so this is good news for territories and member states like ours. It's cheaper also than the Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna version. It uses a different methodology in terms of, persons mounting an immune response. The regime, meaning the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine regime, has an efficacy of 62%. Now, this regime involves 2 doses, so persons who are vaccinated with this vaccine, you're required to get 2 doses. 1 dose and the second dose can be given anywhere between 1 month to 3 months, up to 12 weeks. So your second dose can be had up to 12 weeks after you would have received the first dose. The UK has on hand as many as 530,000 doses of this new vaccine ready. And so the vaccination program in the UK is well on its way, and as many as 100 million doses on order. Now, AstraZeneca has promised several hundreds of millions of these doses to low and middle income countries. And more importantly, the COVAX facility has a standing order with AstraZeneca and Oxford for as many as 170 million doses. And as you are well aware, St. Kitts and Nevis has signed on to this COVAX facility, which gives us an opportunity to access this third option, AstraZeneca. Within another week or 2, or within the next month, the Federation will be informed in terms of the vaccine candidates that will be made available to the Federation in the second quarter of this year. Now, based on all that we would have shared regarding this new variant and the fact that it spreads more easily, right? It's even more important for individuals like yourselves and for all of us. We need to and we must religiously adhere to the COVID-19 prevention measures of wearing the face mask, maintaining good and adequate hand hygiene, maintaining appropriate physical distance of a minimum of 3 to 6 feet between individuals when in public spaces, and ensuring that the environment where we are gathered for prolonged period of times, that there is appropriate and recommended ventilation. Because you and I, we are not sure if and when this new variant will arrive on our shores. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Laws.